my time off from all this, which I desperately needed, and I don't want any more drama or bullshit. I'm no longer white knighting for anybody. I'm no longer I don't feel like I need to protect or defend anybody. That shit is all over. But that was something I had to reckon with, so I quit doing it. And I'm not saying I'm going to be even doing it regularly, but I will do it when I feel like it. And usually I have a lot of shit to say, so it'll be, it won't be like another 9 months before you hear from me again. It won't be anywhere near that long. But I don't want to have a regular schedule, so you guys know that. But in my time off, I deleted all social media because one thing I have learned from my almost 10 years now of doing this is that social media is just a gateway for creepy assholes to stalk you and try to find things that they can use to hurt you if they don't like you. All that being said, there is a tonal shift now. So before we truly get started, I want to explain the direction and vibe that I want the show to go in from now on. There is to be no more drama, as in, I'm not going to wake up every day and go see what this lolcow did next. That's done. I guess that you could say some of what I'm going to cover is lolcow-like material. But there's no more focusing on an individual, no more sagas, no more replying to someone to see what they say back and then bouncing off, and that's fucking done. It's done. I will say what I want about something, and if I cover the subject again, the person that and I'm not replying to people, okay? I'm replying to ideas, but the person whose idea I'm replying to is not going to be the subject of another episode. Once I say something about what someone says, I'm done with that person. I don't want anybody, you guys can do what you want, I ain't your boss, okay? But I don't want anybody seeking out, the people whose posts I show on Reddit and harassing them or watching everything they do because that's a new lolcow or whatever. I think that is so wrong and so toxic, and when you create a lolcow, and when you start observing them in this way, all you do is make them worse. You don't help them, and I know you're probably not trying to help a person like Shani, and I did my share of Shani bashing and going in on Shani, but I will never cover Shani again, because that kind of attention on Shani has created the monster that we know as Shani today, and I don't want to create a monster. I don't want to feed into someone's hunger for negative attention. I don't want to do that anymore. So from now on, I'm responding to ideas and not to people, and I will not be following individuals to see what they do or see how crazy they get or whatever, because I don't want to say it's exactly immoral, because I've done it a million times, and I don't fault other people who have that same desire or hobby to do that, but I don't think it's helpful to the person that is being observed or to the observer, in this case me. Without mentioning names, there would be a few people that I would wake up every day and immediately have to go check what they had done and see what they're up to, and I just don't. That is not healthy. To follow someone's every move and comment on everything they say, especially when they're a mentally ill person who's seeking attention, isn't good for the observer or the observed. Again, I'm not saying it's immoral. Those people want attention, and people give it to them. It's a two-way street, but I'm not going down that street ever again. So that being said, that part of the show is done. The next part of the show that's done is people, and I love everybody in the chat, but when people come in the chat and they start bringing up shit that happened on another person's channel or another person's drama, hey Stony, and they want to carry that drama over into here, get me to talk about it, they want to spread that drama, that's done too. There is to be absolutely no drama encouragement, no fighting and picking in the chat. If you do, feel free to try, but you will get banned, because that's fucking done. This show was very toxic by the end. And it did not start that way. It was good-natured when it started, and it was fun, and I would cover something, and then I would move along to the next stupid thing I wanted to talk about. And that's what I want to bring back. So all of this drama and lolcow sagas, all of that is done. And if somebody thrives on that, and they want to be a part of my life, well, they're shit out of luck, because that ain't gonna happen, period. I have moved into...
The whole reason this is blowing back up again, and I'm having to talk about it, is because the other day, Omni does this stream. It was clear pretty quickly that when I came in the chat and was trying to be nice and said hi to him, he didn't respond. And then when he started his stream, he went on this whole thing about how he wasn't going to be white knighting for people anymore. So it was pretty obvious what he was doing, and I get it. Those people, Von Beardo and Corey and Andy, I'm sure they went and talked to him and told them their side of things. And unfortunately, it sucks that he didn't want to hear mine. It did hurt my feelings, because it's wow, I thought that we were friends, and you didn't even give me an opportunity to talk at all, you obviously just didn't care about what my side of it was. And that's okay, and I'm not going to push that or force that. I'm not here to force anybody to be friends with me. Obviously, Omni doesn't want to be friends with me anymore, and I'm going to respect that 100%. And I don't have any hard feelings against him, so I want to make that clear too. I really don't, because nothing has happened, as far as between me and him. I didn't know there was even an issue or a problem at all. So, and he didn't it was the things that he said too. It wasn't like he was being really nasty and stuff. It was more passive aggressive type of thing than anything else. But I do think it was a bit of a cop out though, that saying, oh, you're not going to white knight anymore. Omni, you never white knighted. Omni, you're better than that. I don't believe that you've ever white knighted for anyone, sir, because that's not who you are. And I think it's kind of sad that that's the way that this is going to get spun now, that you're going to try to act like your support for me was you white knighting for me. No, we were friends, and you saw my side of things and you knew I was telling the truth and you were supporting me as a friend. That is not white knighting. And I think it's kind of fucked up that's what you're calling it now, but that's not what it was and that's not what you were doing. But if that's the way that you want to portray it now or whatever, that's your choice. And I wish it wasn't like that because I don't look at it like that. But either way, it is what it is. So I don't have hard feelings against Omni though. I don't think he's a bad person. I don't want any problems with him, and I'm not going to bother him in any way. And I will not be talking about him again from this moment on. We'll not be talking about Kratos again from this moment on. Because as far as that goes, so